Onomatopoeia. Definition: the formation of a word from a sound associated with what is named. For example, cuckoo and sizzle. Or, put more simply in regards to the medium we're discussing, comic book sound effects. The usage apparently first became popular about 100 years ago with the cartoonist Roy Crane's comic strip, Wash Tubs. And the rest, as they say, is history. The question I have today that I've been mulling over is this: what is the best comic book onomatopoeia? Is it Captain America's wank? Or perhaps his fap? Well, for me, the best comic book onomatopoeia has to strike a good balance between being concise, coherent, and most importantly of all, fun to say. Let's cut to the chase, alright? In my opinion, it's definitely the noise Spider-Man's web shooters make. THWIP. It's iconic, it's fun to say, and it practically rolls off the tip of the tongue, and ends with a th at the end, like his webbing sticking to something. In fact, it's so iconic that it's even listed on the Wikipedia list of onomatopoeias in fiction, alongside a few other ones from his Marvel cohort. We have snicked, which is the sound of Wolverine's claws being extended.
We're skipping the blabber,
which is honestly pretty iconic in its own right. And we also have Bamf, the sound made when Nightcrawler teleports, representing the rush of air to fill the vacuum left by his body disappearing. It's a pretty fun word to say, but I'm honestly not too sure how I feel about its accuracy. Regardless, it's iconic as well. Additionally, we also have Krakoom and Thoom, most commonly associated with everyone's favorite god of thunder, though I have seen it widely used to simply represent thunder in general. One thing you might notice so far is that all these onomatopoeias are related to Marvel characters, which kind of begs the question, what are some of DC's most famous ones? Now, the Adam West Batman show deserves a whole lot of credit for further popularizing the usage of a bunch of them, like blam, pow, boom, and the like. And who could forget the absolutely iconic Batman transition sound effect? However, that is very much a show and not a comic. So, I ask again, what are some of DC's most famous onomatopoeias? Strangely, despite the massive popularity of characters like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, I kind of struggle to think of any iconic ones for them throughout their respective histories, which is really weird when you think about it. But just like how Adam West's Batman popularized certain sound effects, I think that expanded media as a whole has done a lot of heavy lifting for both Marvel and DC, greatly enhancing the reading experience to the point that, for certain onomatopoeia, what I hear in my head is inspired by these shows and movies. For example, the sound of Batman's Batarang.
your weapons are pitiful. Wait for it.
The sound of a Green Lantern ring.
In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight.
While I absolutely adore the new Superman movie, I find the lantern sound effects a little lacking. They were just very different from what's been hardwired into my head. And of course, one of the most iconic comic book sounds brought to life: Iron Man's repulsor blast.
And because this is like when we're seeing the RTs being used against people too, it's the first time we're really showing it.
Right.
We might want to sweeten it with, like, on top of the sound we should have something in our pocket like a thunder crack or something to sort of bury in there, kind of like we did with the pig squeal and stuff.
Right, yeah.
Just to give it a little more pop if it's not, because it has to be a little more overwhelming than it is later.
Right.
It has to have its own, like, signature, holy shit, this guy, it's like the first time Dirty Harry fires the Magnum.
Right.
It's got to really be a special one. And don't worry about consistency, worry about impact.
Anyway, shout out to comic books that find fun ways to incorporate onomatopoeia into their visuals. I can think of two recent comic runs off the top of my head that have done this. The first being Mark Waid's Daredevil, which is honestly very appropriate for a hero of super hearing. It really takes the reading experience to a whole other level, in that you're kind of able to better understand what Matt hears and how it affects him. and the second one being Grant Morrison's Batman and Robin run, where the onomatopoeia is very creatively incorporated into various scenes. Lastly, I'd like to shout out modern expanded media that still find fun ways to incorporate onomatopoeia into their visuals. It's definitely one of the many ways that Spider-Verse is, in my opinion, the best comic book movie of all time. And it's very fitting that THWIP is, in my opinion, the best comic book onomatopoeia. But all that's just my opinion. What's your personal favorite?